Good day everyone, my name is Rachel Gario and we are the Group 4. So for today, we are going to discuss about the global food security towards a sustainable world. So for our learning outcomes, after the completion of the chapter, students should be able to define global food security and critique existing models of global food security. So for our table of contents, the definition of global food security, the 4 pillars, the importance, key factors, consequences, 4 core aspirations, models, food system, and lastly, the summary.
Hello, good day. My name is Alexandra Liano Savio, and I am the one who would formally introduce you to the idea of global food security. But before we elucidate comprehensively the definition of food security as long as its significance and other pertinent details regarding it, we would like to first provide you with a set of short trivia worldwide. So, according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, in 2022, a total of 2.4 billion people, which is about 29.6% of the world population, experienced moderate to severe limitations in access to food. Despite the report made by the Global Food Security Index regarding the consistently high ratings of food security in countries such as Finland, France, and Sweden, during 2020s, food security ratings fell worldwide at may mga lugar pa rin sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo na hindi natatamasa ang concept ng secured affordability, availability, and accessibility ng food. In Africa and Asia, food shortages ang kadalasan na experience ng almost million of people, which is undeniably devastating more for vulnerable populations like children and the elderly. Mainly, it was consequential due to a combination of factors such as patuloy na pagtaas ng ratings concerning poverty, harsh climatic conditions, high population growth, and weak national economies. Aside from that, in year 2022, as we all know, Russia invaded Ukraine, which exacerbated the ongoing global food crisis, leading to further challenges for food producers and consumers alike. Agricultural supplies were severely impacted during that time, leading to a sharp increase in the prices of wheat, corn, fuel, and fertilizer. So, moreover, the global food security situation in the 2020s witnessed a significant decline, which was predominantly attributed to the adverse economic impact of the coronavirus disease or the COVID-19 pandemic. The imposition of lockdowns and restrictions severely impacted the production and distribution of food in many parts of the world, at ang mga naging apektado nito ay yung majority ng hikaw sa buhay o yung mga taong nasa lilayan ng society. Kumbaga, yung mga taong naghihirap ay mas lalo pang nagutom nung mga panahon na yun. And by 2023, most of the world was experiencing significant increases in inflation and trade restrictions, which some countries attempted to regulate prices domestically to control inflation, but in the process worsened the global food market supply and demand. So, after being informed about the struggle of different corners of the world regarding the notion of food security, marahil napapatanong na kayo, ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng global food security at paano ba masasabi na natatamasa ng isang tao at isang bansa ang concept na ito? Both ways, pinabulaanan ng World Food Summit noong 1996 at the State of Food Insecurity in the World noong 2001 kung ano nga ba ang food security. Fundamentally, sinasabi nila na ang standard definition of food security ay ang lahat daw ng tao sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay hindi lang basta-basta nag-i-intake ng food, but rather ito ay tumutugon dapat sa healthy lifestyle. Kumbaga, nasasatiate ang Go, Glow, Grow set of foods, highlighting yung sense ng sapat at ligtas na pagkain. In short, hindi mo mako-consider ang sarili mo or ang isang bansa na food secured dahil lang may nakakain sa araw-araw. Kailangan i-consider din ang dietary needs. Further, dito rin papasok yung pagpapahalaga hindi lang sa well-being ng consumer, kung hindi pati na rin sa mga producers such as ng ating masisipag na farmers or magsasaka. Dahil logically speaking, hindi naman makakamtan ng isang society ang secured availability and accessibility ng food kung nagkukulang sa supply ang food. Kailangan lagi sa isip na dapat balance lang lagi ang supply and demand para masabi na food secured ang isang bansa or group of people.
The next topic would be the 4 pillars of global food security. So there are 4. The first is about the availability. Second is access. Third is use and utilization. And fourth is the stability. So first is the availability or the physical availability of food. So based on our presentation, availability talks about the supply side of food security and is determined by the level of food production, stock levels, and net trade. It is also known as the physical existence of food. So, dito, ang example nito is yung sum total of domestic production, commercial food, imports and exports ng food, as well as food aids and domestic food stocks. Second naman is yung ating economic and physical access to food. So, access. It concerns about insufficient food access have resulted in a greater policy focus on incomes, expenditures, markets, and prices in achieving food security objectives. So, it also means na kung sapat ba yung resources na natatanggap ng isang household or isang family in terms of food, yung dami, yung quality, as well as yung diversity ng pagkakaroon ng nutritious diet. So, ang access ng food ay nakadepende sa resources as well as income ng isang household. Kung susumahin, ang mga mayayaman ay nakakakuha ng iba't ibang choices in terms of food or access in terms of food, while yung may hirap naman is ang access nila is limited lang. So, gaya ng sinasabi ko, yung access in terms of food security will be depends on households' resources and on prices. This means that the drastic changes on households' physical, social, policy, environment can impact access. Third is the use and utilization. So, it is the sufficient energy and nutrient intake by individuals and are the results of good care and feeding practices, food preparation, diversity of diet, and intra-household distribution of food. It is combined with good biological utilization of food consumed and is determined the nutritional status of individuals. So, it talks about or nagre-refer siya sa kung what type and how much food to purchase, prepare, consume, and allocate within the household. So, nakadepende siya sa dami ng family members as well as sa income and resources ng isang family. So, food use and utilization is another aspect of biological utilization of food, which relates to the human body's ability to convert the food intake into energy needed for its day-to-day activities. So, for example, isa kang construction worker. So, yung use and utilization mo ng food dapat mas greater sa tao na merong sedentary lifestyle gaya ng mga nasa call center agent or nasa desktop jobs. Kasi nga, hindi naman sila gaanong gumagamit ng energy compared to sayo na isang construction worker. Fourth is the stability or the stability of other 3 dimensions over time. So it is about having a food intake which is adequate today. So you are still considered to be food insecure if you have inadequate access to food on a periodic basis, risking a deterioration of your nutritional status. So, yung stability, it just talks about yung pagkakaroon ng stable sa mga naunang pillars, which is yung ating availability, access, as well as yung use and utilization. So, it is the state wherein the household has a constant supply of food throughout the year and in the long-term process. It is also having a steady income or economic resources that can provide or for constant food supply. So, dahil nga constant yung change, no, ang pagkakaroon ng stability is very dependent sa mga factors and risks sa ating buhay. So, nakadepende pa rin to sa mga natural disasters, climate change, war, and market price volatility, which is yung mga vulnerable factors na nakaka-affect sa ating pamumuhay.
Moving on, ano nga ba ang kahalagahan ng food security? bakit it is considered as a crucial measure to be maintained at strengthened at all times. Hindi pa pwedeng as long as kumakain ka naman sa araw-araw, okay na yun para masabi mo na food secured ka. So, as we all know, food is one of the basic necessities of human existence. Therefore, just like domino effect, food insecurity can lead malnutrition and other health problems that can affect productivity and economic growth. Thus, aiming for food security, especially in regards to investing for sustainable agriculture and food systems and good governance, can create jobs and economic growth, lessen the number of poverty rates, open door for trading opportunities, increase global security and stability, and lastly, improve health and healthcare in the country. Overall, food security results not only for human lifestyle or human healthy lifestyle, rather, but also a healthy society.
So now let's proceed to the key factors that affect food security towards a sustainable world. So over this slide po, we have the 8 key factors that affect food security. So what are those? So the first one, we have the climate change. We all know as global temperatures rise, food production becomes more difficult and uncertain dahil po sa pabago-bago na weather patterns, extreme weather events, and other environmental disruptions na lubos na makakapekto para po sa ating food security. Next naman po is we have the land degradation. So over here po, yung food production po natin dito is nare-reduce. Bakit po? Dahil po yung water resources po natin ay natutuyo or di kaya naman yung population po or yung kalakahan ng population po natin ay napipilitan po sila na lumipat sa area na mas sustainable, no? And dahil nga damage yung land nila dito, maaari ito magdulot ng soil erosion na kung saan yung abilidad para magpatubo ng mga nutritious food ay nababawasan. And dahil po sa soil erosion, mas nadadamage po yung mga crops po natin, mga products po natin. So may tendency po ito na maging lower quality and mababawasan po yung pagiging nutritious nito. Next naman po is we have the population growth. So over here po, ang population growth, nakaka-apekto po ito sa food insecurity dahil po we all know, no, yung as time passes by, yung population growth po natin ay tumataas. So yung demand po para po sa pagkain natin ay also tumataas. The more the people na tumataas, so mas magiging limited yung mga land and water area po natin na kung saan hindi natin mamimit yung mga resources tulad ng pagkain and yung mga basic needs po natin dahil po limited nga po yung resources na mayroon tayo sa surroundings natin. Next naman po, number 4, for the global water crisis. So, ang water scarcity po, meaning po neto, may less water para po sa agriculture production, which is factor or isa sa mga key factor para po sa food security natin. Which means po, magiging less po yung production ng food na magiging available. So, matitreaten po nito yung food security and nutrition na kailangan matanggap ng isang tao po. Next naman po is we have the declining farmer numbers or declining farmer rather. So, according po sa article, according to Montemayor, ang isang way para ma-achieve ang food security ng isang bansa ay tulungan natin ang ating farmers. However, ang mga farmers natin ay hindi well supported kaya bumababa yung mga bilang po ng mga pumipili ng mga programs or courses na related po sa agriculture. Ang agriculture po kasi natin is not production-oriented. Rather, it is directed po toward po sa commodity which is not farmer-centered po na kung saan sila po yung mga nagpo-produce ng mga commodity po natin. Next naman po, we have the changing dietary preference. Over here po, it means po, for example, ang isang tao po may specific na dietary preference po siya, vegetarian po siya. So, yung food resources po nila is magkakaroon po ng scarcity. So, yung mga food po na matatransport sa area po na yon is magiging konti lang po dahil po konti lang po yung nag-avail ng mga products or yung mga crops na ino-offer po ng ibang lugar po. So, it means magiging food insecure po iyon dahil konti lamang po yung mga products na pupunta sa lugar na iyon dahil hindi po in demand or hindi po dietary preferred ng mga tao na nakatira doon. Okay? So, next naman po is yung competition po with biofuels. We all know yung biofuel demands po ay nag-lead sa higher food prices, either through increased competition for inputs tulad po ng land, water, fertilizer, and labor, or di kaya naman sa international trade. Ito rin pong biofuel pala is nagkakos din po siya ng soil degradation and pollution, na kung saan sila po yung mga key factors para po hindi natin ma-achieve yung food security. And lastly, we have the greedy land deals. So, over here po, meron po tayo mga large-scale land deals na kung saan nag-increase po siya ng possibilities for local food insecurity. Dahil po, nag-export po tayo na locally produced agricultural products and na mas mataas po. Tinataasan po natin yung presyo and napaparasa po natin yung mga farmers na bumili po or purchase po ng mga agricultural goods sa ibang bansa or di kaya naman sa ibang area po. So, hindi po ito farmer oriented or farmer centered dahil po mas nakikinabang yung mga capitalists and yung mga landlords po, so mas bumababa yung mga smallholder or yung mga family farming or yung mga small farmers, which is may negative effect po para po sa mga agricultural jobs na maaari magkaroon ang ating bansa. So, in the end, mas nakikinabang po talaga yung mga mga malalaking landowner po.
So now, let us proceed to the consequences of lack of food security. So ano nga bang nangyayari kapag kulang yung supply ng pagkain? At the same time, ang mahal ng mga ingredients, ng mga bilihin, 'di ba? Sa atin pa lang mahal yung bigas, mahal yung mga bilihin. Talagang may mga nagpo-protesta na, may mga nagrereklamo na. So, in that way, nagkaroon ng social disorder kasi hindi mananahimik yung mga tao at hindi sila makakontento na ganun yung nangyayari at nararanasan nila, right? So, magkakaroon eventually ng disruption sa economy. Next is yung health issues. So, health issues such as malnutrition and stunted children are seen during food shortages. Of course, kapag kulang yung food supply, hindi safe, hindi enough yung pagkain na ko-consume nila sa isang araw, hindi nutritious enough to meet the needs of their body to function well. Of course, magkakaroon ng malnutrition. So, pag sabi malnutrition, di ba? Overweight or underweight. So, pag overweight sila, maaaring mga food na kinakain nila yung parang hangin lang. Chips, mga chicheria, ganyan. Na walang laman talaga na nutrition. And underweight. Usually, underweight dahil hindi sila nakakakain ng, for example, 3 beses isang araw o kaya naman hindi enough yung food nila, sobrang konti lang. So, ayun, magiging underweight sila. Stunted children naman, so hindi proportion itong height at weight nila. So, nagkakaroon ng stunted growth. Poor dietary quality and hunger can cause hypertension, diabetes, and even psychological stress. So, due to malnutrition, talagang maraming madedevelop na diseases dyan eventually. Kasi, hindi ma-maintain ng body or hindi ma-sustain ng body yung nutrients na kailangan niya kasi kulang yung food na nako-consume ng tao. And low economic productivity, malnourishment can lead to low mental acuity and poor physical stamina, resulting in poor performance at school. So, 'di ba, kapag gutom tayo, talagang may mga tao na bunutin, irritable, hindi sila maka-function. 'Di ba, pag exam, hindi pwedeng hindi ka kumain, hindi pwedeng gutom ka, hindi pwedeng mababa yung sugar mo kasi feeling mo hindi ka makakapag-function ng well, hindi ka makakapag-isip ng maayos, makakapag-focus sa ginagawa mo, hindi ka magiging productive enough, hindi mo maibibigay yung best mo sa task na ginagawa mo kasi nga, feeling mo gutom ka, diba? So, ano pa yung talagang laging gutom, kulang yung nutrients na nare-receive ng katawan nila. So, syempre, nangihina, yung mga sakitin, tapos, yun nga, pwedeng magkaroon ng mga delay sa kanilang mental health, diba?
Let's jump on the 4 core aspirations. So leaders around the world agreed in 4 core aspirations. Ano ba to mga 4 core aspirations? First aspirations is the efficiency or efficient, second inclusive, followed by sustainable, lastly nutritious and healthy. What are the challenges naman in achieving these 4 core aspirations? Ang number 1 challenge natin is the challenge to achieve these 4 core aspirations is to create a transformation which requires holistic, multi-stakeholder approach. So, kailangan sa pag-achieve nitong 4 core aspiration, dapat nire-require nito yung pagiging holistic approach. Holistic approach meaning hindi acceptable siya sa community, less yung waste and less din yung maaapektuhan or yung harmful events. Pangalawa, it drives progress across United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. At kapag na-achieve naman ito, the global food system is resilient to inevitable shocks and stressors. So, ano ba yung mga 4 core aspirations? Number 1 is inclusive. Inclusive means all should be consulted. So, lahat dapat ay acceptable sa ating society. Dapat yung mga solutions and policies upon this inclusive core aspirations ay nakokonsulta. So, hindi lang siya dapat okay sa isang particular group, but okay from the other group. Meaning, accessible tong solutions and policies. And ito dapat ay na-apply. Next, sustainable. Sustainable means it addresses the long, short-term issues while minimizing negative environmental impact. So, sustainable. Paano ba natin nasasabi itong sustainable? Magbibigay ako ng example just like a straw. Instead na gumamit tayo ng plastic straws, we use paper straw para ma-less yung pollution or yung negative impact nito sa ating environment. Next, efficiency or efficient. It minimizes loss and waste food chain. So, following the example of sustainable, just like the paper straw, it lessens the loss and waste upon these food chains. So, next naman is, kailangan ito ay nutritious and healthy. Ito ay nagbibigay ng impact sa ating dietary choices. Through what means? Through educating. So, katulad ng ating programa sa ating food system, sa ating gobyerno, ang gobyerno natin ay nagpapalabas ng mga patalastas or commercial about eating nutritious and healthy food. Naroon dapat ang basic food choices na naglalaman ng Go, Grow, and Glow foods na nabibigay sa atin ng maayos at magandang pangangatawan. The models for sustainable global food system. These models were based by the World Economic Forum Systems Initiative on Shaping the Future of Food, Security, and Agriculture with collaboration of Deloitte Consulting LLP. This also aligned in United Nations 17 Sustainable Goals. Next, these are the following business innovations which promotes the 4 core aspirations. So, number 1, dapat yung business innovation natin promotes health and nutritious foods. So, dapat ito, number 1 business innovation dapat natin na matatandaan, dapat nagpo-promote ito ng health and nutritious food. Just like I've said earlier, kailangan, di ba according sa ating FDA, kailangan naglalaman itong product na to ng nutritious facts. So, dapat itong new products na nilalabas ay nutritious and healthy para sa ating mga consumer. Pangalawa, the business adaptation must be effective sa ating waste reduction strategies. So, dapat na nalalagay din natin sa ating product, itong product ng ating business, dapat ito ay recyclable. Naglalaman ito ng recycling precautions and cautions. Next, business should improve the value chain. So, ano ba yung purpose ng ating business? Dapat itong business, nagpo-promote siya ng ating 4 core aspirations. At ito yung pagiging sustainable, efficient, nutritious, and healthy, and inclusive. So, bakit kailangan niya mag-improve ng value chain natin? Because it affects mainly the consumer. So, dapat ang kinakain ng consumer ay mas nakakabuti sa kanyang pangangatawan. Now, many of you questions, bakit may mga junk foods? Bakit mayroong mga candies? Bakit mayroong mga unhealthy foods? So, that is the purpose kung bakit kailangan natin maglagay ng nutritious facts. Kaya nga, nutrition facts rather. So, ito yung ating mainly base kung bakit siya nilalagay para malaman mismo ng consumer ano bang nilalaman, ano bang calories, ano bang protein, o ano bang energy chemical ang naglalaman sa isang product na to. Fourth, business should adopt greener and sustainable food production. Now, ito ay nagfo-focus sa ating sustainable, which address the long and short-term issues while minimizing negative environmental impact as well as the efficiency, which minimize loss and waste food chain. So, number 1 goal din natin dapat that the business should adopt the greener and sustainable food productions. Meaning, dapat ang ating business na to ay nag-a-adapt siya ng greener and sustainable food production. What do you mean? What do you mean, Miss Gabriel? So, dapat itong product na to ay nagpo-promote ng ating good environmental impact. So, what are these examples? The following examples, tulad ng mga ating local cafe, some of the cafe in the Cavite, nagbibigay sila ng product or packaging that is paper instead na plastic, katulad ng egg roll, instead na ilagay nila sa plastic wrapper, nilalagay nila ito sa ating lalagyanan na paper holder. As well as their cups, instead na plastic cups, they also use the paper cups, which promotes the greener environmental impact. Lastly, fifth, business should transform agriculture processes through the use of technologies. So, etong business dapat, they should transform from agricultural processes through the use of technologies. Ito yun naman yung pag-i-improve ng ating business innovations. This also involved in business innovations which also transform from agricultural processes through the use of technology. So, yung agricultural processes kasi po is mainly nagproproduce sila ng mga usok which is not good for our environmental impact. So, tandaan natin that our environment provides mainly our food at ito ay necessary sa ating food value chain. So, bakit kailangan mag-transform ng agricultural processes? So, it is believed po na mababawasan o malilesen itong mga mga usok or pollutions through the use of technology. Just like po, through the use of some of the newly adopted technology, just like yung mga robots pardon the noises, in producing or manufacturing large amount of products or goods.
Smart policies are needed to design systems. Government and businesses should have an integrated nutrition, health, environment, and education systems in order to heighten consumer awareness. Maliban sa participation ng businesses sa pag-promote ng global food security, ang participation ng government ay kinakailangan din. Dapat silang magpatupad ng policies para magkaroon ng sistemang pangkalusugan upang mas ma-educate yung kanilang mga consumer.
Ang topics na maaaring kasama sa paggawa ng mga polisiya ay una, nutritious food choices, ang masustansyang pagpili ng kakainin, impact of food wastage o epekto ng tapong pagkain sa food security, impact of dietary choices such as plant food versus meat and dairy o epekto ng kanilang pagpili between gulay at karne at produktong may kasamang gatas. Responsible choices on lifestyle in order to protect the environment o responsableng pagpili ng mga produkto na hindi nagkakasama sa kapaligiran. Policies must be redesigned to reinforce health and nutrition outcomes. Magagawa ito sa pagpapatupad ng mga polisiya para mabago ang sistema and ma-improve ang health and nutrition outcomes. Social marketing campaigns must promote consumption of nutrition-rich food. Yung commercials and yung ibang mga social marketing strategies ng businesses ay maaaring gamitin upang ma-promote ang pagbili ng nutritious foods. Lastly, there should be practical environment policies that will incentive sustainable production practices and reward climate-smart approaches. Magagawa ito through packaging ng businesses. Yung packaging nila, as much as possible, ay dapat eco-friendly at sustainable. Next na possible way to sustain global food security is to redesign social and ecology practices. Magagawa ito sa participation ng social institutions, media and cultural influencers, and ng mismo government. Ang social institutions ay makakatulong sa pamamagitan ng pag-promote sa masustansyang pagpili ng kakainin upang mas mapanatili ang healthy na katawan. Dapat ding kasabay nito ang pag-reduce ng basura mula sa kanilang mga kakainin. Ang mga media influencers ay pwede namang makatulong sa pag-promote nito. Mas maraming manonood, mas marami ring mas ma-educate. Makakatulong din ang gobyerno sa pagpapatupad ng mga polisiya sa paggamit ng lupa, tubig, at iba pang mga pinagkukunan ng pagkain. Isa rin sa mga posibleng gawin para magkaroon ng global food security ay ang paghahalal ng isang responsableng leader na makakapagpatupad ng hindi lang panandali ang solusyon sa global food insecurity, kundi pangmatagalan din. Ang lahat ng mga namumuno at ang kanilang stakeholders ay dapat umisip ng solusyon upang maging sapat ang pagkain sa lahat. So makatuwid, lahat tayo, the government, the global institutions, civic organizations, farmers and consumers, o tayong mga bumibili ng pagkain, ay dapat magkaroon ng parte sa pagsulong ng global food security.
Okay, so to summarize what we have discussed about the global food security towards a sustainable world, first, food security again at the individual, household, national, regional, and global levels is achieved when all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. The 4 pillars of food security are availability, access, utilization, and stability. Third, the key consequences of lack of food security are social disorder, health problems, and lower economic productivity, which further leads to poverty. Leaders from different sectors around the world have agreed on 4 core aspirations for the global food systems: efficient, inclusive, sustainable, and nutritious and healthy. So these are the references that were used all throughout the discussion. Thank you for listening.